when I listen to poetry now.
Hi guys. Hi guys, you all are welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome. You all are welcome to today's live session. Um, okay. If you're just joining us, just hang on. Hang on, hang on, hang on. We are live. Hi guys. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Please, as you just join, yeah, I would like for you to leave a comment for us in the. Yeah, you could easily just leave a message for me in the chat column and let me know that you are here. All right, guys. This is story time with the clinic. Wow. Okay, I would like to know if you all can hear me. I would like to know if you all can hear me. So I'm getting some really, really interesting questions from everybody. And okay, guys, the actual party is going on YouTube. Hold on. What's going on? Okay, can you guys hear me clearly, please? I want to know if you guys can hear me. Can you guys hear me? Oh, okay, okay. Apparently you guys can hear me. That's good then. Let's get the ball rolling. Let's get the ball rolling. Let's let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Okay. So you're all welcome to story time with the clinic, and today's story is a very, 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 very interesting one. Um, we're going to start off with reading tonight's story. If you get to the particular point where where you have something you would like to say. Feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. I'm going to be looking at the comment section also to, yeah, I'm going to be looking at the comment section to answer your questions and we'll take it up from there. All right, so let's start off with reading tonight's story. Okay? Let's do that right now. Okay. I carefully picked the farthest chair at the Lagos airport on my return flight back to Port Harcourt. I have a habit of being 2 hours early for my flights, so I knew it would be a long day. I settled into the airport chair, located the nearest socket, and whipped out my devices when I saw her. Same girl, same cheeky smile, and those locks she wore on her head like a crown. I'm very good with faces, and it would take some type of sudden amnesia for me to forget a lady that looked as good as she did 2 weeks ago when I boarded that late night flight to Lagos. If this was a coincidence, then it would be the mother of all coincidences, I thought to myself as I wore my headphones and checked if my devices were charging. They weren't. I quickly stood and checked the other sockets close to the one my devices were plugged into, and none of them was functional. Great, I said under my breath as I resignedly packed all my devices together and returned them to my bag. My phone had a few bars left, so I figured I would binge watch Netflix for the next 120 minutes till my flight starts boarding. I spent 15 minutes looking for that one series to steal my attention, and when I couldn't find any, I resorted to watching Peaky Blinders. Clicked on the movie and casually looked in her direction. I could swear that I caught her looking at me. Okay, guys, if you can hear me clearly as I'm reading, I would like you to indicate so that I'm sure I'm not alone. Hi, guys. If you can hear me clearly, I would like you to indicate so I can continue reading. Somebody say something. Are you guys there? Okay, I tried to hold her gaze, but soon discovered she was staring at the couple behind me who were very liberal with their display of PDA. I couldn't stop staring. She had seen enough and decided to bury herself in the tiny book she had on her well defined thighs. Thighs that told the story of a woman that cleans up real nice. I somehow forgot the Shelbys were waiting for me and decided to gift my eyes something pretty. Her anklet hung loosely on her ankles and danced a bit whenever she read something that made her smile and shake her legs involuntarily. I found that odd but intriguing. Her locks were actually not black, they had a soft navy blue tint, and it formed the perfect shade covering her face from my view. The only part of her face that wasn't hidden by her hair was the terracotta colored matte lipstick that outlined her lips. I smiled as I caught myself wondering what matte lipstick tasted like, you know. Having had enough eye candy, I returned to Tommy Shelby. I watched about 3 consecutive episodes when I noticed a lot of people standing and flailing their hands in anger as they talked to each other. I took off my headphones and walked up to the closest man to try to understand what the issue was. Sir, what happened? I asked. They moved our flight back 4 hours and can't even guarantee it will leave at that time, he replied, and my heart sank. Peaky Blinders, a voice behind me said. I turned and discovered the voice belonged to her. Her voice was so hypnotic but paled in comparison to her brown eyes. Sorry, I was referring to your phone, she said with a soft laugh. I looked at my phone screen and noticed I didn't actually pause the movie. Oh, yeah, I mockingly said as I paused the movie. You enjoy it? I quickly added, finding my voice. I would answer you if you can guess my favorite person in the movie. That's easily obvious, I said in between chuckles. You think? I know, I replied and pointed to the empty seat close to her. She nodded and I sat. Let's hear it, she said as she closed her book and pocketed it. Tommy, I said excitedly as she shook her head. Everyone I like him too, but he's not my favorite. Alfie Solomons is my guy. What? I exclaimed, and she laughed really hard till the sides of her stomach hurt. I get that every time, she said as she cooled down. Kamara, said and extended her hands. David, I replied, taking her hands. They were soft and warm. Kamara and I sat for the next 5 hours watching Peaky Blinders and laughing till we got further information that our flight had been cancelled. I had to get a hotel close by to spend the night, and Kamara left for her friend's place. I had just come out of the shower when my phone rang. I'm sorry, but can I spend the night at your hotel? She said over the phone. I wasn't sure how to explain the excitement I felt knowing she was coming over. I ran back into the bathroom and hung my towel to have another bath. What are you doing? I asked myself and laughed at myself. After taking my bath and applying some manly perfume, I quickly took out my laptop bag, retrieved my laptop, and checked to see if I traveled with my HDMI cord. I found and connected it to the TV before connecting my PC to the internet and queuing the last episode we were watching before our flight was cancelled. I opened the door and saw her dressed in a long sleeve bodycon dress with a zipper that ran halfway up her cleavage. Hi, she said as she lifted the white nylons in her hands. I stepped back and she walked gracefully into the room, and my eyes fell on the waves her backside made with each step. I closed my eyes and swallowed hard. Oh. I'm sorry about this, she started to say, immediately getting comfortable and taking off her wig, which she carefully placed on the chair. We sat on the bed, ate, and watched a few more episodes till it was almost 2 a.m. I looked at the plate of chicken before us, and there was only one drumstick left. She saw that I was looking at it and smiled. Remember, you're a gentleman, she quickly reminded me. This is chicken, I shot back, and we had a little Mexican standoff before she grabbed the chicken, and I tried to get it back from her, which was an effort in futility because she put it in her mouth and only the bone came out. Do you have a girlfriend? She asked. I froze for 2 seconds and my eyes fell on her breasts. Our little struggle had exposed them a teeny weeny bit. Girlfriend? I asked, and she nodded with a smile, zipping back her top in place. Why do you ask? Most guys wouldn't just let a random lady they met today come over and spend the night in a hotel room with them. They would do that only if they want to sleep with her. And you don't give me that type of vibe, she said. I'm not most guys. Plus, you already explained you couldn't stay at your friend's tonight, and my hotel is closer to the airport. But I told you my reason when I got here. Yeah, I know. So nice guys still exist? Maybe. What if I just wanted to fuck? I almost choked on my saliva when she asked that question. What? Yeah, I mean, what if I just wanted to just... She started zipping down her dress till it got to her navel, and I swallowed hard and couldn't help but notice she had perfectly carved bosoms and big areolas that begged to be touched. The dress was tight enough to hold them in place, so I could only see the middle section and parts of her breast for a moment. And for a moment, I wondered what those dots on the surface of her dress would look and feel like. Well, I don't have a girlfriend, but maybe I am that guy who just loves being nice because it's a nice thing to do, I said, and got up to get some cold water from the mini freezer, hoping she wouldn't see my erection. The next morning, we took turns in the bathroom, and I tried to get her to be ready early enough for us to be at the airport 2 hours ahead. But I guess not. I guess not having a woman in my life didn't prepare me for the time it took her to come out of the bathroom and get ready for us to leave the room. We got to the airport and bonded for the entirety of the 30 minutes we had to sit and talk. Her seatmate refused to let me sit with her, so we got separated on the flight back to Port Harcourt. We touched down at Port Harcourt and quickly reconnected at the baggage reclaim area. How are you leaving? She asked. I'll just get a taxi when I get out. Where do you stay? Eliozu, I replied as I picked up my box. Cool. You could just join me. My boyfriend is already here and Eliozu is on our way. Boyfriend, I said under my breath. My thoughts drifted to last night and how she clearly gave me a green light, and I was glad I didn't allow myself to mess this up. He wouldn't mind? I asked, as I helped her lift one of her bags off the carousel. Nah, he's chill. I'll just text him that I'm coming out with a friend, she said as she faded with her phone. We walked out and I saw a man in his late 30s who looked like $1,000,000 and dressed the part too. Over the next few days and weeks, our friendship deepened. Kami was smart and very proactive. She knew what she wanted out of life and was a badass product designer. I dare say one of the best in Port Harcourt. Whenever she visited, she would wait for me to take my trade for the day before engaging me in meaningful conversations that brought about new business ideas that favored the both of us. She found out I loved to cook and decided to have lunch with me twice a week. I got to know her boyfriend a little bit more, and I could tell for a fact that he was proud of the woman he was about to marry. Our conversations drifted off most days, and we talked about all sorts of stuff, including my sex life and hers with her man. I never had stories to tell because I wasn't particularly getting any action, even when I knew so much about how to make a woman happy in the other room. It gets boring sometimes, she said after we had just finished lunch. What does? I asked. Sex, she said and adjusted her gown, which was halfway up her butt cheeks. Kami always knew how to wear really sexy lingerie, and I helped her on several occasions to select which ones to use on date nights with Tobe. Okay. You guys could try and spice things up, I said innocently, and she sat up and looked me in the eyes. Do you have any ideas? She asked, and I smiled. I listed several things she could try, and midway into my very erotic explanations, she bit her lips, stood up, walked towards the window blinds, and, with her hands undoing the zipper on her dress, shut them and turned to face me as her dress plopped to the floor. Show me, she said in the sexiest voice I had ever heard. Why don't you have a girlfriend? She asked as we lay naked and listless on the floor in my sitting room after the longest 1 hour of practical classes and note-taking on various subjects ranging from cunnilingus to fellatio, reverse cowgirl, face-off, pretzel dips, jiwis, and a host of others. I have friends that are girls. I have you, I replied as I used an ice cube to trace up her body from her belly button. Guys, I would like to know if you guys can still hear me. I would like to know if you guys can still hear me, please. Very, very important. Okay, let's go ahead. You don't have me. Tobe has me, and you need to have. You don't have me. Tobe has me, and you need to have your own woman too. Yeah, I know. I hope to meet her soon, I said as my hand reached her breast. She shivered under my tongue, turned over with her face down, legs stretched out, and hips slightly elevated. One more for the road, she said in between laughs. I rolled over and onto her back. This one is called Flatty Run, I whispered into her ears as I gently beat her shoulders and the back of her neck. My hands went under her armpits. She locked them with her upper arm and closed her eyes as I buried my length in her. We danced that way and alternated with some wheelbarrows till we both came. We showered together, had another quickie, and cuddled off on my bed. A call from Tobe woke us up sometime in the evening. She thanked me for lunch and I walked her to her car. Sex became a norm whenever she visited, and her complaints about it being boring with Toby ceased. She was replicating what she learned from me, and I was glad I was helping out. She would occasionally suggest some of her friends for me to date, but none of them had her brains, her body, or that unique aura she exuded when we first met. I tried to lie to myself, but it was already too late. I loved her, but I wasn't going to be the one to jinx what we had, especially when her wedding is in a few weeks. Kamara is the closest thing I have to a close confidant, and sex with her is undeniably pleasant. We are good friends who sleep together, and I know it's unhealthy, but I cannot help it, and I can't seem to get it to stop even if I want to. I'm glad I met you, she said with her head on my shoulder after a quickie outside her boyfriend's house. Tobe wasn't feeling too good, and Kami asked that I drop her off at his place when we were done at the gym, since she didn't drive. She pulled up her shorts in my tinted car that had her feminine essence all over it because she was a creamer, and leaned in to peck me on the cheeks. She left and I felt disappointed in all the many months we've been together and all the countless times we've had sex. She has never kissed me. Something about it being too sacred and whatnot. I felt she knew that a kiss would cause her to fall in love with me, and maybe I would be the one saying I do to her in a few weeks. I was at her wedding 2 Saturdays ago, and I couldn't help but wonder what she felt as she walked down the aisle. But she filled me in the next day while she lay in my bed with the diamond ring on her finger. I'm leaving Port Harcourt in 2 days' time. I hope it helps me get over her. Gang gang. Yeah, yeah. So, guys, we are back. We are back, 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 we are back. All right, guys, we are back. So, the story tonight is. Okay, so the story tonight is I repeat, a very, very interesting one for so many reasons, right? For so many reasons. I'm going through some of your comments and I'm short of words. My DM is burning, like basically burning. Um, I would like to know what you guys think. Let me just have an idea what you guys think. Please, I would like to know what you guys think because it's well. When it has to do with friends with benefits, I mean, tell me what goes through your mind, like, because David 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 shot himself in the leg, and I don't think him leaving Port Harcourt is going to help. I really, really, really don't think leaving Port Harcourt is going to help him. But maybe you guys might have a different opinion. So if you have a different opinion, I would really love to hear it. I would really love to hear it. He had, and it's this thin line where you get so comfortable with someone, right? You get so comfortable with someone that you maybe forget that there are lines that should not be crossed. No, you just somehow forget that there are certain lines that should not be crossed for any reason whatsoever. You know, when you found out when she made that statement, my boyfriend is waiting. This is someone that practically seduced you the night. Okay, someone said, I think Kamara just wanted to taste freedom before going into marriage. And that was why she was clear about having a boyfriend and wanting him to date someone too. But don't you guys think it's witchcraft? I mean, don't you guys just think it's witchcraft? you clearly, I mean, oh goodness gracious, like you clearly know you're getting married. You're getting married. If you know you're not ready to get married, you move on. He be David for life. This one, he didn't. I mean, he didn't do it well. And in our generation today, you have a lot of young people who are getting comfortable with the idea of having FWBs. Having friends with benefits. They are getting comfortable with it, and I really, really, really don't think it's the best thing to happen to them. You know, I don't think so. Okay, I'm a lot of having a lot of people join on Instagram, and I have to now basically redirect them to. I have to redirect them here. So if y'all could just give me a few minutes, let me quickly tell them that we are live on YouTube and they all should join in. Yeah. Okay, someone said, how come Tobe didn't have a double take on her new sexual prowess and preferences? Tobe was quite complacent. I don't think, no. I don't think Tobe was quite complacent. I mean, you've been having you've been having sex with your girlfriend and she suddenly starts getting creative on the bed. No man is going to complain. You know, no man is going to complain. Please, if you're joining on Instagram, I would really like if you guys could just join on YouTube. That's basically where the main party is happening. But if you're here, yeah, it's fine. Okay, so yeah, I really don't think that Tobe was being complacent. No man is going to have issues with his woman getting creative on the bed. No, no, you know. So that's basically what I think. And I feel to a large extent there are a lot of Kamaras. If you haven't read the story, please go and read. Those of you on IG, please go and read. Yeah. Um, when you get comfortable with someone, when you become friends with someone, in our generation today, we don't know when to draw that line. You know, we don't know when to say, guys, chill, or let's not do this, or this cannot happen. Sex has become so cheap. I mean, and Kamara is not the first girl that's doing something like this. Kamara is so not the first girl that's doing something like this. You have a lot of ladies that tell you, oh, yeah, it's just sex. I can have sex, but I can't kiss you. Make it make sense. Like, please, just make it make sense. Oh, I have a lot of you sending me messages telling me, oh, all these styles you're writing in your book. It's not my story, it's David's story. If David says that he did a particular style that I'm sure your father and your mother do not even know about, don't blame me, blame David. Maybe one day, I think one day I'll bring some of all these storytellers to come and share the experiences with you. I still know that some of you on this life right now, have entered Google to go and type fellatio, cunnilingus, Jewies, wheelbarrow. Yeah, I basically see all of you, right? I basically see all of you. So continue. People are doing well. People you guys are really, really cracking me up. So think about it. Think about it. I really would want to hear what you guys think. It's so sad that YouTube doesn't give you that option to come on live with me, but feel free to leave your comments in the chat box. Let's read together. Let's know what you all think about tonight's story. Like, I really, really want to know what you guys think. You know, I really want to know what you guys think, because I mean, people would argue and tell you, yeah, friends with Okay, someone said, my thought is Tobe was quite complacent. Raised eyebrows should have been okay. Raised eyebrows should have been a thing. I mean, just accepting that she's all of a sudden a mad bed creative. That's too simple of Tobe. Natasha, I'm going to say it again. No man is going to complain if his woman suddenly becomes a beast in bed. Um, maybe where it would have gotten awkward is if she now wanted to bring in all the whole BDSM and stuff. I mean, yeah, but as long as it's sex positions, some guys don't know how to think when they have an erection. But let's take a minute to, I don't want to use the word appreciate, right? I don't want to use the word appreciate, but let's take a minute to think through David's fight. David had a lot of self-control, but you can clearly see that it was his over-familiarity with Kamara that broke him. It was his free-handedness with Kamara. It was that thing of not having clear-cut lines that messed what he had with Tamara up. And I'm going to explain. Remember that part of the story where he said that he went to take cold water from the fridge and hoped she didn't see his erection, which means, I mean, you could clearly see from the beginning of David's story that he had the hots for Kamara, but he was careful enough not to um, be all pervy with her. He was really careful not to throw it, quotes and unquotes, in her face. I mean, and as a lady, I don't want to say I can swear, but as a lady, I know you guys know. I mean, I've been saying this every single time I've gone live. You guys know when a guy has the hots for you. You guys clearly know when a guy has the hots for you. So you know. So it's not like something that just jumps on you guys. And it's that, oh, he's such a nice guy. Oh, he's such a nice guy. He wouldn't mind. And you, Mr. Nice Guy, oh, I'm such a nice guy. I'm such a nice guy. I'm such a nice guy. You go and put your hand into what you cannot come out of. Now, she's better off because she was already in a relationship before she met you. Now, here you are giving all your children, your unborn children, to her, and she's even advising you to get your own. And you're saying if you find, and as you're finding, you're still making her, getting her excited for you. And it's that thin line. And I'm still going to say it. I'm still going to repeat it. It's that thin line. I don't support friends with benefits. I don't. But then again, people are going to say it's not about what I support. Some of you might end up saying, sometimes weekly sex is healthy. The doctors will tell you, oh yeah, it's good for you to have sex every week, every month is important, it's good. And I know that for ladies, when they have that orgasm, apart from that relaxation that they experience, there's this sense of calm, when that happens, both for the guys and for the girls. There's this hormone. I think I have to remember the name. It gets released, and it basically. I know I have a doctor. I have a doctor in this live feed today, and I wonder why she's keeping quiet when maybe she can just help me and hint, maybe in my DM on WhatsApp, tell me the name of that hormone so that your favorite writer will look like he knows book too. That kind of thing. I'm having a lot of messages. I'm not even sure which one to reply. Not even sure which one to reply now. Okay. All right. So now, someone said leaving PH would definitely not help David. he's already hooked. In fact, it's going to make their affair smoother and safer because the girl is not ready to let him go yet. So here's the thing. So I am someone who has never, now when I say never, I'm someone who has never ever believed in running away from problems or running away from bese. Now let me explain. It's this thing of let's say you're leaving your house, right? Let's say you're leaving your house and you there's a song that's playing in my head now. Say, I don't want shit for church or something like that. But let's say you're leaving your house and for some very weird reason, you defecated in front of your house. But you're going out and it's something that's going to take you somewhere within 4, 5, 6, 7 hours while you're outside, right? So what do? You use, because you're in a hurry, you get a paper or you get leaves or you get something and you quickly cover what it is that you did and you go out. Here's the funny story. When you come back at night, it's still waiting for you. So if you don't find a way to deal with it in the present, it's definitely going to affect your future. Future. English as well. Yeah, it's going to affect in the front, basically. Right? So, David leaving Port Harcourt is not going to help him in any way. Because here's the thing. Whenever he comes back to Port Harcourt, if, for example, she meets him in Lagos, she meets him in Abuja, she meets him in Dubai, in Ukraine, in Mars, in his village, that spark is still going to be there. Why? Because they did not fix it while he was still in Port Harcourt. So what he's just doing is running away from a fight that he's clearly going to fight another day. Run away from a fight he doesn't even yet know how to win. This friends with benefit thing has never ever ended well. One person always falls in love. One person always is the heartbroken one. And we need, and as it's something that is, yeah, it's something that is happening with our generation, and it's something that we need to try to fix. And it doesn't only happen with single couples. No. It doesn't only happen with single couples. It happens all round. It happens all round. So it's up to you. It's up to you to exactly decide where you want to draw the line. Let's go on Instagram and see. Let's go on Instagram and see some of the comments that have been coming in. Let's see. Let's see some of the comments that have been coming in on IG. Okay. Okay. So, yeah, if you're not yet following me on Instagram, my name is Clinic. Can you guys still hear me, please? I'm not exactly sure what just happened. Okay, I think we are back now. All right, so yeah, if you're not following me on Instagram, it's clinic KLYNIC _ That's my handle on Instagram. So yeah, let's quickly go on Instagram and see some of the stories that have been coming in so far. All right, comments. Okay. Someone said, not me reading with my eyes wide open, and at some point, my mouth too. Now, wow. Really, really interesting. Really interesting. What else? What else? Someone said this storyline explains it all. People they meant. Anyway, Sha, I love it. It's personally captivating. You Sha kept me in one spot for 30 minutes reading this beautiful piece. Kudos. 30 minutes. Ah, like 3 and 0, like 30 minutes. All right, it's well. Okay. Normel said, okay, I didn't like that. Okay. So Normel said, very interesting. When we say a man and a woman can't be close friends without sex, they will say we don't know what we are saying. Nice one, man. Okay, on this particular subject, on this particular subject, I have something I want to say. Um, so so I clearly believe that a man and a woman can be friends without sex being involved. It's a thing of it's a thing of them having clear cut lines on, yeah, if you want to say rules of engagement, maybe that might be a way to say it, but you can be friends with the other sex. You can. And at the same time, manage properly and draw the lines where the lines are. If you have a friend that is of the other sex, it doesn't mean that you should now lose your I don't know. Yeah, you can. But if you guys think otherwise, tell me. Maybe I'm old fashioned, and I highly doubt that. Someone said David knew what he was getting into, as he clearly knew she had a boyfriend. So him following through and not creating boundaries, he wasn't so self-controlled. Okay, Natasha has a point. Natasha has a point there. Let's go back to Instagram and finish up with some of the comments that are coming in. Okay, so that was Nomel Empire. Then we have Martha Lee. She says, all I can say is wow. Strange things plus the things I now know from what I just read. Please pick the actual story. Forget about all the other things. Let those ones go. Just pick the actual juice, the juice of the story, what you're learning from it. Don't go and learn what I did not teach you. Please, oh, my hand is not there. Thanks and God bless. Abigail says, "Hey, this one suits me. Oh, we're on the live session now. Crazy things are happening. Yeah, that song has been playing in my head ever since ever since I knew that this was the story I was going to share this particular weekend. The song has been playing since last week's episode. I am Chop says, Uncle David. It just says, Uncle David, is this playing? How do you people have so much details like this to describe people? Things really, they happen. This Port Harcourt where we be one big family. Yeah, and I replied that I said, we're actually one big family. Yeah. So at the end of the day, at the end of the day, it's important. It's important for you to know what you're getting yourself into. And I think the issue here is that David didn't get the full picture. Apparently, Kamara is a pro. Kamara is a pro, and this is something that she enjoys doing. Like, this is something she enjoys doing. So nobody should come and put sand in her gari. And who is to say that if David leaves Port Harcourt, she wouldn't find another fuckboy? I mean, this time now she's married, so it's now going to be a thing of sugar mommy levels, based on one or two things. Think about it. Just think about it. So yeah, I think the rest. I'm still waiting for your messages. I'm still waiting for those DMs. it's I think it has been a wonderful first outing here on YouTube, and I think the experience is much better and richer than on Instagram. Um, I think this is the much we can take for tonight, and I look forward to having you guys here again next week Saturday. But before we round up, just in case this is your first time, just in case, so I don't want to believe it's anybody's first time here, but just in case this is your first time, this is story time with the clinic. A story time with the clinic, and this is not our very first episode, right? It's not our very first episode. So, yeah, we've had different episodes on story time with the clinic. Hmm? So our episode 1 was he was like a brother to me. Episode 2 was he promised to leave his wife. Episode 3 was daddy was my first. This particular episode did it at all. I understand that. We also had another man's wife. And episode 5 was friend zoned, and we ended up with today's episode, which was friends with benefits. I'm really excited you all stayed with me till the very end of tonight's episode. I look forward to doing this again with you all, same time next week. My name is Clinic, and please, 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 if you are not following us yet on Instagram, please go and follow your favorite writer on Instagram, so that what again, Seth? So that, yeah, basically, so that you can stay up to date with all that's happening. That's basically what I want to say. You just follow us on IG. Like I said, it's clinic underscore. Because what usually happens is the stories would always go live first by 8 o'clock on IG. You can see episode 1 went live first before we went live. Episode 2 before we went live. Episode 3 before we went live. Episode 4 before we went live. Episode 5, and then now episode 6. So the story would always go live first on Instagram before we have our live sessions here on YouTube. So once again, thank you all so very much for joining tonight's live feed, and I look forward to doing this again with you same time next week. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful evening. Good night.